All right. This is live with Lashley. So today I am talking about a youth athlete's guide to success. So this is all for all the parents out there with kids that are doing team sports, even doing jiu-jitsu or gymnastics or something not associated with a school. But this is really focused towards the parents of youth athletes, because there's a lot of kids too at that age aren't going to have Facebook right now. So parents, I really want to reach out to you guys and cover some real core things you should look for when your kids are doing athletics and their performance on and off the field, court, mats, or whatever. So I have the 5 steps here for a youth athlete's guide to success. And it's the 5 things that you should evaluate and see if a young athlete is doing, and that what will help a young athlete be successful on the field, on the court, whatever they're doing. So we're just going to jump right into it. The first one here is we have work ethic. So it just comes down to it, this plain and simple. Kids are freaking lazy these days. You have kids that don't get to play. They'll be sitting on the bench during football games. They'll be sitting right on the bench on basketball games, whatever. But see, the real thing is, it comes down to it. Your kid just may not be working hard enough. You could tell your kid to, push themselves, to work hard. But when it comes down to it, the best player that's on the team, they're going to get to play. So in practice, if one kid's performing better than the other kid in practice, well, most likely the kid that's not performing well is not going to get to play. That's just how it works. You have to work harder. You have to get better in order to earn that spot on the starting spot in athletics. And I think it's misled a lot of times when we do team sports, especially like basketball and football and volleyball, whatever, all the sports, especially at a high school level, people are getting too soft. And the point of letting, this kid signed up, so he should get playing time. When in reality is, no, you should get playing time by working hard and being better at what you're doing and trying to perform better so you can get that spot. Because that's how a lot of things work. Like when kids grow up and they're going to go get a job, they're not going to, let's say there's Bob and Phil, and Bob's resume is 10 times better than Phil, interviews 10 times better than Phil, that employer is going to hire Bob. They're not going to hire Phil just because he came in and applied for that job, and just because that's just how the real world works. So one of the easiest things to do is have a young athlete. They just need to learn that they need to push themselves and work hard, because good coaches notice hard work when it comes from kids. If you're a truly good coach, you will notice and see when a kid's pushing themselves and working hard. And that's what makes a big difference is the work ethic in between a lot of the kids. Because a lot of kids that are getting starting time are busting their butts day in and day out to get that spot on the field or on the court, whatever they're doing. So the next part is training. So a lot of times it happened to me when I was like in elementary school and middle school, when you send your kids into the weight room with the coaches and stuff, and the coaches don't really know what they're doing, or they're not focused on the younger crowd of the kids that are in the weight room. They're like, oh, here's the weight program. They have little diagrams, a little white stick figure guy trying to lift weights on a piece of paper, like, oh, follow this, go do the workout routine. No, that crap's not going to work. Kids need to learn, especially the younger they are, every kid should know how to do basic fundamental movements. So too, another big mistake is allowing kids to make too big of a jumps in their athletic ability. So if you have a kid and you're trying to get him how to do a box jump, and the kid can't even properly perform like a body weight squat, you need to work on the very basics and build your way up. When you build a house, you put the foundation down first, and then you put the walls up, and then you look at putting the frame on for the roof. You just don't go out in the middle of a desert and put sticks in the ground and try to throw a roof on the top of a house. That's not how a house is built. It's built from the foundation up. And so a big mistake is kids are just thrown into the weight training programs. They're just thrown, hey, you're going to squat 300 pounds now. You're going to do this now. Or you're going to do some sort of advanced training methods, when realistically the kid just needs to start off learning how to do basic fundamental functional exercises, like knowing how to do squats, push-ups, pull-ups, chin-ups, learning how to broad jump, learning how to do box jumps, basic athletic movements that need to be known for all athletes before they can even move on. Same thing when it comes to sprinting athletes and marathon runners and anything else. You have to learn how to basically do your basic running before you get to anything advanced. So, the easiest way to make an athlete a better athlete all the way around is get them stronger. That's the most first and easiest thing you can do. Get the core stronger. Get them to do push-ups, bodyweight squats, chin-ups, pull-ups, and they get good at that. Start having them bench press, deadlift, squat. But they need to start off very basic and work their way up. And make sure, too, everything for a young athlete, especially a young athlete, you got to develop the core. Everything comes from this right here. Your whole body moves from this, your core and your abs. So that's a very thing that especially young kids should be absolutely training the heck out of, is their core muscles. So the next one is confidence. So the big one is a lot of kids have a lot more ability than they think they do, but they just don't have the confidence to perform. So there's several ways of trying to boost kids' confidence, but I'm just going to be very, very just open to just saying that you just need to somehow figure a way out how to boost your kids' confidence. Encouraging them. Trying to have them take the confidence so when they step out in the field to be a leader, step on the court to be a leader in the weight room. Push yourself. Push others. When you work hard, you're going to get stronger. You're going to feel better. You're going to start performing different things better. You learn how to play basketball better, to do XYZ better. You're going to have more confidence in your abilities to do things. So tell kids to grab a hold of that confidence and run with it. Tell them to jump on board, run with it, be as confident as heck. And that's something that a lot of kids, where they have the ability, but they don't have the confidence to perform, and that's what holds a lot of kids back. And they just have to run with it, grab something and run with it, and encourage them, and tell them they're doing a good job, and tell them things they need to fix, and just have them work harder in general. Just boost their confidence. So the last two things that I cover a lot is eating and sleeping. So a lot of kids, they like to stay up all night playing video games. Obviously, they're not sleeping, they're not recovering, their muscles aren't recovering, they're not going to be recovered for their practice, for their weight training, whatever they're doing the next day. And two, the other thing is eating. Obviously, you're not going to let your kids, if they're going to eat ice cream every single day for every single meal, it's not going to benefit their bodies. Kids are kids, and they like to have fun and eat things they like or whatever. But for somewhat, you need to have a pretty nutritional diet of vegetables, good protein, good carbs, good fats, and with their diets. You're going to see a big leap in their performance just by being able to have it proper eating and getting a good amount of sleep for kids. For youth athletes, it's recommended from 8 to 10 hours is a good range for youth athletes to sleep, especially because they're younger, they're still developing, they need a lot of sleep to reach their full capacity. So this was Live with Lashley. I covered a ton of information. Real quick, we're going to recap it. Youth Athlete Guide to Success. Number 1, work ethic. Number 2, training. How are you doing it? Make sure you're doing it right. Number 3, confidence. Number 4, eating. Number 5, sleep. So, this is all for all the parents. Make sure your kids are doing things right. If they're going into the weight room, make sure they're doing their lifts correctly. And make sure they're busting their butts. That's going to be the biggest thing, is work ethic, because kids are lazy these days. So, this was Live with Lashley. Please share. Please tag some parents. If you know of anybody that has younger athletes, check this video out. Let me know if you need any help. So, and I'll give anybody that wants to bring their kid in for a free couple sessions that are athletes, feel free to hit me up. I'll train them, help them with their basic lifts, and starting off their functional exercises that they need to work on, their basic ones. So, again, this was Live with Lashley. Thank you for watching. Please share a comment. And remember, you stop it yet? If you believe it, you can achieve it. Have a good day, everybody.